What's going on, TehMadGamers? This is Duece, and that was a pretty gay intro. But here I have an Uber battle against my boy Bshaw198 from the Pokemon Wi-Fi chat. I'm bringing like an Uber Sun team. I'm not too fond of Ubers, but I just decided to make some weird Sun team of Ubers and stuffs. So yeah, let's start this off. He's got that Blaziken, which is a big threat, and he's actually gonna lead off here with his Darkrai, and I'm gonna lead off with my Groudon, because Groudon is a bulky beast. He's like, yo, I got so much swag, Rick Ross, my nig, and he's gonna switch out from his Darkrai, go into his Lugia, predicting my Earthquake, which I actually am gonna go for the Earthquake here, and then he has like a screening lot. Lugia, or whatever the fuck this thing's called. So after he puts up Reflect, I'm going to go for that Dragon Tail, and it's going to switch him out into his Blaziken. He's actually going to try and set up here with his Reflect up when I go for the Earthquake. And it only... Well, actually, not only, but it does like 80%, which is a pretty good amount, tending that have no attack investment. And he has Reflect up. So he's going to get that speed boost, then he's going to go for the high jump kick. And that's only going to do about 65%, and I'm going to KO him here with the Earthquake. So that's a big threat gone. Blaziken could have done a lot of damage to my team, especially if it had Protect. And yeah, so let's get out of the way. He's going to go into his Deoxys Speed here now, go for that Psycho Boost, but it's actually going to miss because I did a Groudon roll. So I just kind of stood out of the way there and go for that Dragon Tail. It's going to switch him out into his Mamoswine. And he's probably a choice Mamoswine, depending on how his team's built. So he's just going to go for that Earthquake right away. And judging by that damage, he probably is choice Scarf. Maybe Band, I could be wrong, because Groudon is pretty bulky. So that Reflect is going to wear off there after I went for that Fire Punch, and he's going to KO off here with his Earthquake. So now I'm going to go into my Elite, which is my Mewtwo, and this is a timid nature Mewtwo. And he's going to switch out into his Darkrai here. I go for the Fire Blast, and Fire Blast is just like, yo, do not mess with me. So that's going to one-hit KO that Darkrai. Pure power right there. That Life Orb damage. He's going to go into his Lugia now, and I'm going to try and set up on this Lugia because I know I can set up on a Lugia if I'm a Mewtwo. He's going to go for that Toxic. I was like FFFQRT space /9R because now I can't even do anything, and he's obviously going to have Roost and Toxic and all that stuff because he has screens and stuff. So I'm going to go for the Fire Blast. Going to miss because Side Strike won't do anything because he's part Psychic, and my other move is a Aurora Sphere, I think that's how you say it. So I'm just going to switch out. I'm going to go into my Darkrai, which is my Dreams. He's going to go for more Reflect, which isn't too much of a problem since half my team's special attacks and I'm in one right now. He's going to go into his Dialga, which I was like, and no, it's a Dialga. So I'm just going to like put him into my Dark Hole and get him asleep, and I have that Bad Dreams ability, so it's going to rack off a little bit of HP from him. I'm going to switch out, go into my Legit, which is my Rayquaza, and I got that Airlock, so now the sun's away. And this is a new Bungas, or however you say that, Rayquaza, so I have V-Create, and yeah, it's pretty cool. If any of you guys want this Rayquaza, you can have it, because I'm probably never going to use it again. And so I'm just going to go for that Dragon Dance there, and then I'm going to go for the Earthquake at +1 Earthquake. Now look how much damage this does. That doesn't even do half. He's going to wake up, go for the Draco Meteor, and it's just going to completely destroy my Rayquaza. Yeah, so that's a dead Rayquaza. I bet you V-Create actually probably would have done more than that, and I didn't get to show that off, but oh well. So this bulky-ass Dialga is just standing there like it's God, which I think it is God or something. I'm going to go into my Zekrom, go for the Bolt Strike. It's going to miss because he does a Dialga roll, and then he's going to Dragon Tail off. I'm going to get switched out into my Mewtwo, and I'm like, alright, not too bad. I think Fire Blast will do something here, but Toxic is going to rack off, and I'm just going to go for the Aura Sphere because it's like, alright, I have Aura Sphere, and that still does almost enough to KO, and I really wish it would have done more, because then he'd be down, and he wouldn't have gotten his Stealth Cocks up. So he's going to get left over. I'm going to get my HP drained, and he makes a good play here, switching out into his Lugia, and I was predicting him to switch just because he could switch, but I didn't know what he was going to go into, and I probably should have just went for Fire Blast there, but he makes a good play into his Lugia, is going to tank that, and then Toxic and Life Orb is just going to completely demolish my Mewtwo, so I'm just going to sack Mewtwo here because I'm a dead switch in anyway, I'm pretty sure, and if not, I'm just going to die from anything. So I'm just going to go for that Fire Blast, and then he's going to get all his HP back up with that Roost, and I'm going to die off from the Toxic Poison. So score right now is, I think like 5-3. I could be wrong. I'm going to switch out into my Darkrai, which is an obvious switch here. He's going to switch out from his Lugia into his Dialga as fodder, which was a decent, pretty good play. And now here, I should have just went for the nasty plot, because I actually put his Dialga to sleep here, and I'm actually going to set up now, but this could have happened way earlier without having to put him to sleep. So I kind of extended a turn, because everything he would have switched into I still could have KO'd with Dark Pulse. And he's going to stay asleep there as I go for the nasty plot. I'm going to get my recovery, and he's going to get his, but I have the Bad Dreams, and the Bad Dreams is actually going to KO the Dialga now. So that all worked out in the end. He's going to go into his Deoxys Speed, and I was like, oh shit, and he's going to go for the superpower. I was like, please, 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 please live, and it fucking lives with 40 HP, and I don't know how, but I did, and then I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse, and that's going to KO Deoxys Speed. Yeah, get out of here, please, thanks, bro. And now he's going to go into his Mamoswine, which he's obviously going to go for the Ice Shard, so I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go into my Zekrom as fodder, and he's at enough HP where I could probably live against another Pokemon, but I'm actually just going to fodder Zekrom now, because looking at his team, I need Darkrai for Lugia, definitely, and my last Pokemon besides Darkrai now is my Reshiram, which is my Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I got that Turbo Blaze, so I'm going to go for the Blue Flare, and he has the pressure on his Lugia, which really hurts against those kind of moves. I'm going to miss the Blue Flare, which was a devastation, and I'm going to go for Blue Flare again, and I miss it again, and then he's going to get the Toxic off, but he has Stealth Rocks up, so I don't want to keep switching out into Reshiram, because he's weak to rock moves. So I'm like, this time I'm like, alright, you know what, I'm not going to mess around with this Lugia. I predicted him to go for a Roost, and he is going to go for the Roost, and which was a good play on my part. Now I'm going to stay in. I'm going to go for the Dark Void, and thank God I did not miss the Dark Void. So now his Lugia is stuck in, and I'm going to get a little bit of HP recovery, which is completely pointless now at this point. And I'm just going to stay and go for the Dark Pulse unboosted. I don't have time to try and set up. And that's going to do about like 50%, which Lugia is such a freaking bulky monster thing. Flying F. Nip off. But, yeah, so this time, tending by that Bad Dreams damage taken, I can just Dark Pulse again, get the KO. Lugia is going to go down, and then his last Pokemon is his Mamoswine, which I definitely know its choice by now, by the way he's playing it. He's going to go for that Ice Shard. It's going to KO Darkrai. And he gets a crit, because that crit totally mattered, bro. And, I'm going to go back into Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's time to go for the motherfucking Blue Flare. I'm going to get this up. He's going to go for that Ice Shard, and here it comes. You ready? I'm about to get the win right here. Blue Flare, I'm like, oh wait, he does a fucking Mamo roll. Out of the way, you big ass, troll face, tusk ass motherfucker, and he's going to go for that Ice Shard again, and he's just going to KO my Reshiram. So I lost 1-0 from this freaking Mamoswine doing a Mamo roll. But, yeah, this is Duece, TehMadGamers, and bye.